C4 is a pre-workout supplement that contains several ingredients commonly marketed to improve exercise performance. Let's take a closer look at what the research says about each one and whether they're likely to help with your workouts. Beta-Alanine is an amino acid found naturally in animal meats. Research shows that beta-alanine can improve certain types of athletic performance, but the benefits depend on the type of exercise you're doing. It works best during high-intensity activities that last about 1 to 4 minutes when your muscles start to burn from lactic acid buildup. This includes things like weightlifting sets, CrossFit, and middle-distance running or swimming. The reason it works is that beta-alanine helps your muscles buffer the lactic acid that builds up during intense exercise, delaying fatigue and allowing you to keep going a little longer. On the other hand, it offers much less benefit for explosive activities lasting under a minute, such as powerlifting or short sprints, because those exercises end before enough acid builds up to matter. The biggest benefits are usually seen after taking beta-alanine consistently for at least 4 weeks at doses of around 5 to 6 grams per day, although smaller doses can still provide more modest improvements. It may also benefit older adults, with studies showing it can increase exercise capacity and delay fatigue compared to a placebo. By the way, I review a lot of supplements here, so subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated, and support me on Ko-fi if you enjoy the content. L-Citrulline is a naturally occurring amino acid found in foods like watermelon. For resistance training such as weightlifting, research suggests that taking L-Citrulline before exercise may slightly reduce fatigue and muscle soreness. Some studies have also found small improvements in performance, allowing people to complete a few extra repetitions before reaching failure. That said, the benefits appear to be fairly modest. Clinical trials have not found that L-Citrulline increases muscle strength or helps build more lean muscle mass compared with a placebo. L-Arginine is another amino acid that's naturally found in foods such as red meat, chicken, fish, and dairy products. Some clinical studies suggest that L-Arginine can slightly improve measures like oxygen uptake and blood flow. However, these small changes don't consistently translate into better athletic performance. For example, studies in trained cyclists have generally found no meaningful improvement in exercise performance. Research also shows that L-Arginine doesn't appear to improve muscle recovery after exercise, and in older adults, it has not been shown to increase lower body strength or improve physical function. Overall, L-Arginine may offer some cardiovascular benefits, such as improving blood flow or slightly lowering blood pressure, but these effects don't reliably lead to better workouts. If it provides any exercise benefit at all, it appears to be more useful for endurance activities like running or swimming than for anaerobic exercise such as sprinting or weightlifting. Peptipump is a concentrated lentil protein hydrolysate, which is essentially lentil proteins that have been partially digested. It belongs to a group of ingredients known as bioactive peptides. These compounds are marketed as a way to improve blood flow and boost exercise performance. However, despite the marketing claims, there are currently no good human clinical trials showing that Peptipump or lentil protein hydrolysate improves athletic performance. C4 uses a special form of creatine called creatine nitrate. Most creatine supplements, however, use creatine monohydrate, which is by far the most studied form of creatine. Creatine is naturally found in foods like meat and helps your muscles produce energy during short, intense bursts of activity. Decades of research show that creatine monohydrate can improve strength, power, muscle mass, and high-intensity exercise performance. Creatine nitrate is different because the creatine is attached to a nitrate molecule. In theory, this could provide two advantages. First, the nitrate may increase nitric oxide production, improving blood flow and oxygen delivery to your muscles, while the creatine itself supports energy production. Second, some manufacturers also claim that creatine nitrate dissolves better and may be absorbed more efficiently than creatine monohydrate. There is some research that supports parts of these claims. For example, studies on nitrate supplements have found small reductions in the amount of oxygen your body needs during exercise. Another small study found that creatine nitrate increased muscle creatine levels slightly more than the same dose of creatine monohydrate. However, this doesn't appear to translate into better exercise performance or improved muscle growth. Nearly all the research showing that creatine improves strength, power, muscle growth, and athletic performance have been done using creatine monohydrate, not creatine nitrate. So far, clinical studies suggest that both forms provide very similar exercise benefits. Caffeine is probably the most effective ingredient in C4. It increases alertness, reduces feelings of fatigue, and has consistently been shown to improve exercise performance. One scoop of C4 contains about 200 milligrams of caffeine, roughly the amount found in 2 cups of coffee. The FDA recommends that healthy adults consume no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. Since 2 scoops of C4 already reach that limit, it's important to avoid combining it with other high caffeine products like energy drinks or large amounts of coffee. Huperzine A is often included in pre-workouts because it's marketed as a brain-boosting ingredient that may improve focus during exercise. Some research has found that it may improve memory and cognitive function in people with Alzheimer's disease. However, that's a very different population from healthy adults. In healthy people, the evidence is much less encouraging. Clinical studies have found little to no improvement in memory, attention, or overall cognitive performance. The rest of the formula includes several B vitamins and choline. These nutrients are essential for overall health and play important roles in energy production and normal muscle function. But that doesn't mean taking extra amounts will improve your workouts. Research has found that supplementing with nutrients like folic acid and vitamin B12 doesn't increase strength or physical performance in people who aren't deficient. Overall, Cellucor C4 is a reasonably effective pre-workout, but much of its benefit comes from just a handful of ingredients. Caffeine is likely responsible for most of the noticeable increase in energy and workout performance. Beta-Alanine and L-Citrulline have some evidence showing they can reduce fatigue and improve resistance training performance, while creatine has good evidence for increasing strength, power, and long-term muscle gains. The main drawback is dosing. One scoop provides relatively small amounts of several of these ingredients. To reach doses that are closer to those used in clinical studies, you'd likely need to take at least 2 scoops. But doing so also doubles your caffeine intake to 400 milligrams, which is already the recommended daily limit for healthy adults and may be more caffeine than many people may tolerate well. Beyond those core ingredients, most of the remaining compounds either haven't shown to meaningfully improve exercise performance or are included in amounts that are way too low to have much effect. At roughly $35 a month, C4 isn't especially expensive, but it's also not the most cost-effective option. If I wanted to focus on the ingredients with the strongest evidence, I'd simply combine caffeine with adequately dosed beta-alanine, L-citrulline, and regular creatine monohydrate. Even using the clinically effective doses of each, that combination would likely cost less than C4 while providing similar or potentially even better results. Rating Cellucor C4 pre-workout by effectiveness for improving exercise performance, I'm giving it a B. It contains a few ingredients with good scientific evidence and can improve certain aspects of exercise performance. Rating it by cost, I'm giving it a C. Most of its benefits can be replicated with a few inexpensive standalone supplements. Rating it for safety, I'm giving it a C. The formula itself is generally safe for healthy adults, but the caffeine content makes it easy to reach the recommended daily limit. Overall rating, I'm giving a C. It can be an effective pre-workout, but the lower than ideal doses of several key ingredients, combined with a number of ingredients that add little proven benefit, make it hard to recommend over a simpler, less expensive supplement stack built around ingredients that actually have strong clinical evidence. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, please share it with them. Finally, if you enjoy what we do and want to learn more, consider supporting us on Ko-fi, and be sure to check out our other socials as well.